Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS Gear, and we're going to look at a parts kit from Dye today. This is the DM series, not complete parts kit, medium parts kit. So this will fit most every DM up until about the DM 14 or so, parts kit wise. So you can see it's listed 8, 9, 10, but it'll still fit the 11 and the 12 and the 13 because they're all very similar to each other. So inside here, you're going to get basics that you're going to need to do repair on the stuff that really would need repair. You're not going to get some of the more in-depth parts like a solenoid or a board or anything like that, but you're going to get necessities, things that you go through quite often. You're going to get a couple sets of eye wires, which they do get pinched, they get broken, they get dirty, and they stop working. So some eye wires. The backplate button pad. I know people crack these somehow. I'm not quite sure how they do it, but I have seen these crack quite often. So that's on there. Eye pipes. Can't have enough eye pipes with detents. So they give you 2 eye pipes, but they give you lots of detents because the detents usually will wear faster than the eye pipes will crack on these. These right here, you probably look at them and don't even know what they are, but this is the harness that actually holds the eye in place. So these eyes go in like this, and they get held in there, and then this harness drops into the breech of the gun, and it holds the eyes in the proper place. Those tend to dry out a little bit. They can crack. I've seen people, when they try to get them out originally, they rip them apart. So a couple replacements are good for those. What else we got? O-rings, 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 O-rings. So mostly it's going to be bolt O-rings. That's really all you need in there. A couple of these O-rings will also work in the ASA if you have your on-off ultralight airport, I think is what they were called. That'll work in there as well. Detents we talked about. Trigger pin right there. So that's the pin that goes through the trigger that the bearings ride on. Got screws right there. I think there's 2 different lengths in there. Let me look. No, same one. Rear and front frame screws. They're 832 5/16 screw. You have trigger springs right here. I know most of the people on their DMs, they take the spring out because they like the softer trigger pull. But if you ever want to put it back, finding the right spring could be a little difficult. So there's some springs for you. Then you've got these little cone-shaped screws right there. These are your trigger adjustment screws. So on the side of your frame, you've got 2 screws that you can turn. And depending on how that cone interacts with the trigger moving back and forth inside there, it will limit either pre or post travel on your trigger. And then reg seats. Can't have enough reg seats, especially on a Hyper 3 reg. If you over tighten, well, actually any of the regs, not even just Dye regs, pretty much any reg that's out there. If you over tighten them into the off position or closing them down to limit airflow out, if you over tighten them, you'll actually put a hole or you'll damage the face of the reg seat. Once that happens, when the piston tries to seal against it, it won't. You'll get overpressurizing, you'll get leaking, you'll get all sorts of weird things, inconsistent shooting. So if you have a reg like this where the reg seat is removable, you can do one of 2 things. You can flip it over because you've got a perfectly new face on the other side, or replace the seat. If you've already flipped it once and damaged it again, then you can flip it and there you go. Or you can replace it. One of the 2, whatever I was talking, flip it or replace it. But they give you 5 of them in there so that you're always covered because you never know when one of those will go bad. And they do just wear because of use. That piston up and down, up and down, up and down, every time sealing against that seat will eventually put a mark into it and it will stop working properly. So repair kits for DMs, the DM series repair kit. It's available through the website. Gets all your goodies to do repairs on your DM gun. Available through the website. Remember, it's up through the 13 in years. Order yours now through ansgear.com.